Welcome, everyone, to a new episode of New Lunar Radio. I'm your host, Jabroni, and long silence.
To the Helix fossil.
I didn't even understand what you said.
Exactly. You shall turn to the Helix fossil for guidance.
I'm gonna be like Captain America. I understand that reference.
Good. I just got done desecrating the lounge.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No, I have not, and I will have to check it out after this.
No, just do it right now.
Just do it right now.
Just do it right now.
Making me type on my new loud as hell keyboard. Everybody can hear it.
Yep, do it. It's worth it.
Okay, so I see there's something in the header, and then there's something in like the sidebar. Where is there more?
The footer.
Oh yes, never in. Yeah, yep.
The wiki.
Start 9. Oh, I haven't gotten to the wiki yet. Start 9. No.
Start 9.
Jay Leno. Okay. We should.
And the reason why Jay Leno's in the wiki and Abby K's in the sidebar is I couldn't find a pony for Rattata.
Yeah.
Also, Pony Rattata would suck.
What about Jay Leno pony? Could you find a Jay Leno pony?
I couldn't find a Jay Leno pony.
Damn it.
All I could find was a Chameleon pony.
Well, this will date the show because, you know, by the time this comes out and I even get it on YouTube, this thing might be over. But
yeah, especially when they're cheating now.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at it today since I got home. But the thing that we're discussing is Twitch plays Pokemon. So
yeah,
it's a thing on Twitch where the chat room of a Twitch chat, a Twitch channel chat room collectively plays Pokemon. Pokemon Red to be specific, at least for this one. I believe that somebody set up a blue one later, but it has way less people and is much less crazy.
Somebody set up an RNG plays Pokemon.
I don't.
It got pretty far, but they had to reset the game because it got rid of all its Pokemon except for a level 7 Magikarp.
Ooh, and everybody knows that's no good.
That's no good.
But
we're gonna check to see where they're at right now.
But the thing about it is it's skyrocketed. Like, you know, if you had like 200 or 300 people in there doing it, whatever, you know, they'd get through it eventually. The hardest parts would just take really long, right? Well, it skyrocketed all the way up to 50,000 people. So
it was at 100,000 earlier today.
Yeah.
Holy crap, they're still in the stupid game corner hideout. They've been there for about 48 hours. Even with cheating.
Yeah, the maze is killing them, and they aren't even in the right maze.
No, they have the key.
Oh, they do? Finally?
They got through the maze.
Ugh. Oh, so they have the elevator key, so now they're just trying to get back.
Yes.
Oh, God.
They're just trying to get to the lift or something. They can't figure out what they're doing.
It's a ridiculous, interesting experiment, in my opinion, but I don't know. Other than that, I don't know about it.
It looks like they're about to go back to cheater mode. I mean democracy.
Democracy mode. Because when I looked at it this morning, they were just like they were so close to getting democracy mode, like for the first time. So, like, I don't know how many times it's been on since then, but
when I left for work, they just got through the correct maze.
Well, yeah. Like I said, it could be dated by the time I even get around to posting this, but I will do my best to make it not. And by the time somebody listens to this in 6 months, you know.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Hello, no viewers. I can say whatever I want.
But The big thing I think why it got a boost today is because I saw a couple of posts on like gaming websites and stuff. Like there was a post on Ars Technica today and stuff like that. So it got a bunch of press. So, well, people may or may not realize that we didn't actually record an episode last week because I was busy.
Oh no.
Is my fault.
Okay.
So we're going to have epically long episode today and talk about 2 episodes of Pony.
And this Pokemon thing.
Well, at the beginning of the Pokemon thing, but at least.
I think we unofficially decided to move our time slot to Tuesday afternoons.
Yep, Tuesday afternoons is the new time slot that we record in. If you also didn't know, we live stream the recordings complete with all the mistakes that get edited out. And all the silences that I compress in the episode. Mm-hmm. Hint, hint. I do things to the episode to make it sound better on YouTube, though it still probably sounds like crap. So
it has my voice in it. Of course it sounds like crap.
And it has mine as well. So, what can you do?
Crap plus crap equals good.
Yeah. Double good. Not even just single good. Double good.
Double good.
But we will talk about 2 episodes today. Simple Ways and Philly Vanilli. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
First up is Simple Ways. It's a rarity episode, so...
What? Wouldn't it be an Applejack episode if it was called Simple Ways?
Rar episode.
Rar.
Rar.
Huh.
So, it opens up with the group of main 6, minus... No, not minus anybody. Just all of them. Heading down to Town Hall to find out who will be the Ponyville Days Pony of Ceremonies. Yes, you heard that right. The Pony of Ceremonies. I don't know.
Pony of Ceremonies.
The Pony of Ceremonies. I don't know why.
So would that make it the PC?
Yes. Politically correct.
Oh, I was thinking about the PC that kills Pokemon.
No.
Abby K. J. Leonard, never forget. I'm shoehorning this in everywhere I get the chance.
I've noticed.
And I'm ready to announce that we've gotten a democracy, but it's not quite there yet. But I'm just gonna be like, democracy!
Oh god.
Get ready for that.
I can't even live commentary.
So I bought Blue Hawaiian at the store today because it came in like if I was like, I love Blue Hawaiian. Spoilers, I don't love Blue Hawaiian. And the place where I got the Blue Hawaiians from, they've closed down since then. I want to go back in time and drink something I liked, but now there's nothing. I don't like alcohol.
So, turns out there's a selection committee and everything for this Ponyville Days. And Pinky is pretty glad that they didn't instantly pick her. And because there can only be one.
What?
Yep, there can only be one Ponyville Days of Ceremony.
I can't hear the term "there can only be one" without thinking of Persona 4 Arena.
I think of Highlander, but I'm old school like that.
I suppose.
Turns out that Pinky can turn her head into a balloon, and also any air she inhales into helium that she floats away. Pinky stuff. And much to some of the surprise of some people, Rarity gets the honor of being the Ponyville Days Pony of Ceremonies. And turns out she already had it all planned out for the most part.
That part of like the application?
Well, like she had like all the decorations and what she wanted to do planned out because Spike rolled out that thing and they instantly went to her boutique and started talking about like what kind of events they were going to have, like a silent cider auction and tasting, a Ponyville Gala in Town Square, and to top it all off, like nobody would have ever guessed, especially when you're dealing with the Rarity, a fashion show, including all of Rarity's designs, which has been pretty much every fashion show in the show except for one. And it features small town chic is the design, I guess, that she's going for. Everyone is excited and wanting to help, hanging lights, making cider, and such. And we find out that Rarity is actually trying to throw a huge, successful party to impress a pony named Trenderhoof. Trenderhoof.
So, hipster pony.
Nobody knows who he is except for Rarity. Turns out he's a travel writer known to Rarity, at least, as making a bunch of travel spots popular by talking about them in a travel magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And turns out that Rarity has a creepy shrine to him, including a lock of his own hair. So, we're talking like Hey Arnold style creepy shrine. No bubblegum effigies or anything like that, but just, a lock of the hair and stuff. She has more than a little crush, and she's not afraid to admit it, at least to Twilight. Rarity and Twilight end up going to meet him at the train station. Rarity makes a scene, as of course. And he does, in fact, show up, even after Rarity thought that he might not. And it's love at first sight, at least in Rarity's eyes.
Well, I mean, isn't that just typical Rarity?
Rarity. So Twilight forces Rarity to talk to him because she's being very embarrassed. And she shows him around town a little bit, and eventually they head towards Sweet Apple Acres. Says it feels very authentic, seeing as how it's a real farm. So,
I mean, does he just forget that there's another farm right next?
I don't know. I mean, he says it feels very authentic. I mean, the dirt and everything, it's crazy.
Couldn't he just find another farm?
Maybe. We'll see. And all the while Rarity's trying to seduce him, and he seems to be falling for it, she accidentally moves to one side, almost like the camera made her, and Trenderhoof spots AJ, and it's love at first apple-biting sweaty sight.
Ew. You could have chosen better words. Phrasing!
Yeah, well, she's biting an apple, and she's all sweaty.
Ew.
Ew.
Who does that?
I don't know. AJ, I guess.
Who does that?
And it's love at first sight. AJ is the pony of his dreams. Of course, Rarity's not too pleased with this development. Crying over her dysfunctional shrine now. She confides in her very bestest friend, Spike, about being snubbed by somebody that they've been idolizing forever. Spike is, of course, not impressed. Trenderhoof ends up bugging the crap out of AJ, who wants nothing to do with him whatsoever.
What? It's like something else that's about to go on.
I know, it's crazy.
What? What is this children's show and they're drawing parallels?
So Rarity shows she's too busy. She quotes being too busy with her chores, AJ does. And Rarity shows up to help AJ with her chores. Despite go ahead.
That's because Rarity is such a nice friend that she'll help out Applejack so Applejack can be free, right?
Right. It's totally not a disguise to try to get Trenderhoof to like her. Totally not. Totally not a ruse.
It's not a ruse at all.
Despite wanting to help haul apples, Trenderhoof still is more interested in AJ. So Rarity wants to prove she can be a farm pony. She, of course, tries to do farm pony things like plowing, of which she...
Whoa, E13 show here.
Plowing the field with a metal plow.
Whoa.
A farming instrument, of which she does not understand how it works, and tries to treat it like something that you can ride when it's something that you have to pull.
Right.
In my notes, I put that she's too dumb to realize how it works, but that might be a little bit too mean.
Yeah.
Trenderhoof ends up liking Applejack more and more, and Rarity gets more and more bitter. Trenderhoof ends up asking Rarity if she thinks AJ will be his date to the festival. Of course, Rarity pretty much loses her shit at that point and gets very jealous, and it starts to make her hate Applejack. The ceremony planning starts to suffer It's not. I guess it's not a ceremony. It's a celebration. The celebration planning is starts to suffer, and she's come up with a new theme. The new theme is
this new theme is going to be something actually decent, right?
it's going to be totally
like underwater something.
Yeah, the sea ponies.
Like dancing under the sea.
Yeah, under the sea dance.
Yeah, that whatever it was. Yeah.
Nope. It's Simple Ways.
What? Cue credit. We just heard the title.
Simple Ways.
Cue credits. The show's done.
Decked out in coveralls and a straw hat, and speaking with one of the worst forced Southern accents I've ever heard. She has now completely changed herself to try to get somebody else to like her. She's trying to get a bunch of fillies to be in her fashion show and look like garbage. And while they're going through new models for the Simple Ways fashion show,
cue credits.
There's a new model, and her name is Apple Jewel. Apple Jewel. And shows up on stage, and she looks pretty familiar. Turns out, it's Applejack. All gussied up, got on makeup, and...
But Applejack's name is Applejack.
And a coiffure, and hairstylings, and manicures, and makeup, and stuff. Rarity is dumbfounded at Applejack's attempt to make her understand that she should just be herself. We found out through a series of back and forths that, and this is pure conjecture on my point, but we find out that Applejack thinks Rarity is pretty beautiful and a popular trendsetter, and that Rarity thinks that Applejack is a dirty workaholic and is pretty dumb.
That's about right.
So they go back and forth, culminating with Rarity screaming at the top of her lungs that she likes to roll around in mud, which she does jump into mud, and it gets...
He's an asshole.
Yeah. And it gets, it splashes all over AJ's dress, and that finally brings Rarity back to reality, realizing that she didn't know what she was thinking.
No, because she realized that she harmed one of her own possessions.
And it turns out that Applejack borrowed the dress from Rarity, and it was wearing a Rarity's, and she seems to freak out a little bit more about the mud ruining the dress. Then Trenderhoof shows up and decides he wants to give up on the trend-setting life and live on a farm.
But he's not allowed to do that. Cutie marks are life-binding contracts.
Applejack and Rarity give him the hint that it's probably not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the lesson for the episode. It's not attractive to change everything you are to get an approval from somebody else. If somebody doesn't like you for who you are, it's their loss.
And Rarity's still an asshole.
Yep. They end up switching the theme back just in time, and everything ends up going without a hitch. So, go Rarity. I'm glad that you think that your hardest working and most honest friend
loves mud is kind of slightly retarded in your eyes and knows not how to care for herself at all. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that this is the image that you feel that she portrays on a day-to-day basis. So that was Simple Ways. Do you have anything to say about the episode overall before we go to the next one? Pony racism.
Earth pony racism. I mean, even at the beginning, Rarity had this dress on, and she had this ring on her horn, and it's like, look at this accessory I can wear that filthy Pegasi and Earth ponies cannot. But yeah, pretty standard Rarity episode as far as we're going in this show, that most people still have faults and rarely learn from them from time to time. Yeah, but at least this one was about something slightly different. It wasn't about Rainbow Dash being a jerk again, so.
Mm-hmm.
But next up we have a Fluttershy episode. We haven't had one of those for a while. And this one is kind of musical. Not as much of a musical as the Weird Al one was, but
Too many musicals.
this one, I like the songs actually way better than I like the ones in the Weird Al one. But
You mean song?
yeah, there's 2 songs.
Barely
There's 3.
counts.
There's 3 songs.
No.
Yes, there
No.
is. Yep,
No.
3 songs.
No.
Yep,
No.
I counted them. 1, 2, 3.
No.
We'll discuss it at the end of the episode.
Oh, okay.
Let's go through the plot. The plot.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're not that type of show.
Yeah, whoa.
Wow.
So, scene opens on Fluttershy's cottage, and she's starting to sing a song to help while she's wandering around helping all of her animal friends. All the animals end up loving the song. Yay! Go Fluttershy! You sing so good. Especially, in all those times that you've sung with your friends. Like, that they had to have heard you sing before. Because, especially in that episode, like, where you sang about how your cutie mark wasn't right. And you sang, like, in front of a lot of people. But whatever.
So, this confirms the fact, like, it's canonically acknowledged that when they just break out randomly singing, it's actually happening. And it's a normal thing to happen.
Yes. Well,
Like, oh, Pinkie Pie's in the booze again. She's singing about something. Dear Celestia.
That, or it's confirmed that when they were singing in, say, the episode about their cutie marks being switched, that nobody actually heard them as singing, and it was truly a musical. Because the thought in a musical is it's told through song for the audience, but the characters themselves do not acknowledge that they're singing their parts. So,
But in this episode, the other characters acknowledge Fluttershy singing.
yes, and she did sing at the very beginning. It's a conundrum. We'd have to go back and analyze each episode individually. So, but there has to be one where they at least acknowledge that they were singing together. Maybe as early as Winter Wrap Up, that Fluttershy was actually singing on screen with other people around. So
right,
because Winter Wrap Up is like we're singing a song to help get our work done faster kind of song, right? Not a musical, like we're telling a story kind of thing. So, but regardless, all the animals love it, and so do her friends. And she's super embarrassed that they saw that.
I hate being talented. I hate that I could be a singer or, like a model, but
I'm so shy.
My name is Shy.
But we find out that there's something called the Ponytones Quartet, and that Fluttershy should be a part of it, as per Rarity. It turns out Rarity is also part of it, and
of course. Who wouldn't want to? What pony would want to be the star of attention? Center. It'd be Rarity.
Turns out they're performing the next day for Fluttershy's animal fundraiser thingy for the animal shelter, I guess. Ponyville Animal Shelter. Then we get a nice little scene that everybody in the well, not everybody, a lot of people in the fandom seem to be complaining about, at least one of two. Pinkie Pie goes off on a tangent, of which I think that is pretty characteristic of how she's always acted, going a little bit overboard on describing what could go wrong if Fluttershy were to sing on stage with the rest of the Ponytones. This only enhances Fluttershy's already apparent stage fright. And everybody else seems to notice that Pinkie is terrifying and that Fluttershy is terrified. So,
what? No.
Pinkie agrees that she's great at being ridiculous, but Fluttershy then declines to join due to her stage fright. which I think compared to other episodes of the show where, like, for example, green is not your color, she is kind of badgered into doing something because she feels that it's, she's badgered into it even though she doesn't really like it. In this one, she actually shows some character growth after learning proper being able to say no techniques in the one episode with I can't even remember the name, but you know the one.
Yeah.
The one where she turned into a monster for a little bit, like a monstrous pony, not a monster. Anyways,
Power ponies?
No, not power ponies. Yeah, the one where she learned to not be such a doormat. That one.
Oh, that one. The one with Ian Will?
Yes. So she declines to join due to her stage fright, and after a bit of badgering, she stays strong, and her friends relent and are actually friends for once.
What?
Yeah.
What?
What? And say that they respect her want to not be on stage.
Mm-hmm.
They resign themselves to prepping for the event that is tomorrow, and we are eventually introduced to the Ponytones, which include Big Mac and 2 other new ponies whose names aren't spoken on screen, which I'm sure the fandom has already named them, and or they have names in the credits, and I just didn't look hard enough. So
Did you look at all?
Maybe.
Did you?
Probably not. I was pretty tired when I was rewatching the episode, so I was, I was happy to be going to bed when it was done. So,
and since you mentioned Big Mac, can I go on a tangent?
I guess. This
is gonna be a long show, anyways. I might as well go on as many tangents as possible.
Sure, Big Mac, go.
So I was working today, and this mother and her kid goes through my line, and the mother asks her kid something, and the kid goes "E up" like Big Mac, and then he mentions Big Mac, and so the mother asks, "Who's Big Mac?" And he goes, "Oh, it's the pony from My Little Pony." He's like, "Yeah, it's Applejack's brother." And so the mother goes, "There's another boy pony in the show? I thought it was only Shining Armor." I was like, "What? Who thinks that?"
Yeah.
What?
Yep, Big Mac. He's been there since the beginning, but he's always forgotten.
He's been there since like the first episode, pretty sure.
Yep, almost. If not the first, then definitely the second.
Well, the first episode when Applejack goes, like, here's my entire family.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely firmly introduced in the third, technically the third episode.
Technically the third.
Because he's injured and can't do Apple Bucking Day. Oh, no. That's the fourth episode.
No. Third one is Ticketmaster.
Yeah, that's the 4th episode. Sorry.
4th episode, technically 4th.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to try another drink of this blue wine and see if it still tastes bad now that it's chilled over ice.
Chilled over ice. And I will continue our rundown.
Yep.
As the ponies, Ponytones are singing the second song of... What?
Ice did make it better.
That's good.
Yep.
The second song of the episode, Fluttershy is singing along in the crowd. And everybody, Fluttershy comes up and says, "Oh, you were great, Ponytones," and it was just a part of the song. So, Rarity dismisses them and says that they're going to come back tomorrow for a final rundown. Rarity says, "It's nice to have a thing that there's no drama. Of course, this is sure to cause it because Rarity causes drama."
Yep.
Whether she just speaks of it or not.
She's there pretty much. Is Rarity? Yes, drama.
So tomorrow comes around, and Big Mac turns out to be late. The reason being is because he ended up losing his voice. He had a turkey calling contest.
Where'd he see his voice lost?
Well, he lost it. He said that he lost it, and so did Rarity. It turns out he was the champion for 6 years in a row, until Pinky beat him. And Rarity announces that the Ponytones will not be able to perform due to not having enough time to rearrange the music for that evening. Aw. So Fluttershy gets an idea to go and visit Sakura, who says that she can help Big Mac, but it's going to take longer than just a couple of hours. They wonder where they're going to be able to find a replacement baritone at this hour. And Zecora ends up offering a solution. Use the poison joke to bring back Flutter Guy.
Hate that name.
I know you do, but
We've talked about this.
We've talked about this.
You brought this up to upset me.
Yep. And we've talked about this. Darkle has said that he hates fan-on names. And it turns out Flutter Guy is not a fan-on name.
I know.
Totally
smear
canon.
tactics. Smear tactics.
Smear tactics, huh?
That's how it's done.
Mm-hmm. But Fluttershy agrees to do it, except for the whole singing in front of people part. She still can't bring herself to be on stage. Because she'll do anything for animals except for sing on stage.
So is she just going to record her voice ahead of time?
No, even better. She's going to sing it on the fly, just behind the curtains, and Big Mac will lip sync it.
So do you see the obvious wrong thing here?
What's that?
Do you see, like, no one would notice that? Really?
Yeah, maybe the ponies don't have great sound depth perception. That or Fluttershy's voice is so booming that it consumes them so much that they can't even tell where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I also need to point out that whoever came up with the episode title, based on what happens in this episode, is nigh on genius.
Mm-hmm.
Philly Vanilli.
Right.
If you don't, I will explain it to you in 5 seconds, but I'll give you a second to get the joke.
Okay, I took the second. I don't get it.
You don't get it?
Laziness.
Philly Vanilli is a play on the name of a band called Milli Vanilli, who in the 80s were caught. The singers of the music, turns out they didn't write, produce, record, or sing any of the music. The two people on stage were literally hired to be frontmen, and all of their performances were recorded prior. So, hence, this is the title of, hence the play on words that is the title. Right.
Right.
And it's showtime, and it's time to fool them all.
No, that's the wrong episode.
Oh, damn. But they bring back Flutter Guy, and they rock the house. Fluttershy ends up getting into it behind the curtains so much. Cheerilee faints at, Big Mac's sensual voice, a.k.a. actually Fluttershy. And even Applejack mentions that Big Mac was stupendous.
So, for a pony who's shy to the extent...
What?
For a pony who's shy to the extent of having shy in her name, she sure does love the showboat.
Yes, she does. And we'll find out how that's not a good thing later.
Spoilers. Spoiler.
So, after the show, Father and small Pegasus pony come up and ask if the pony tones can perform at her quinceañera. Rarity does the smart thing and declines initially due to the fact that it's much too soon because the quinceañera is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I would think that any normal performing group would probably say about the same thing.
All right.
Just depending. And of course they're disappointed, but I would figure that they'd probably just get on with their lives. Maybe Rarity could have done better to offer to perform for, like, I know it's not the quinceañera, but maybe her next birthday party, something like that, right? But Fluttershy ends up talking her into it. So this kicks off a string of events, literal events that Fluttershy just won't let them turn down, including Mare's ribbon cutting ceremony, the spa ponies coming, asking them to sing at the spa, and Cheerilee's class, to be honest. And the more gigs that they do, the further Fluttershy is getting into it, and it makes Big Mac have to work harder and harder at lip syncing to try to keep up. And
you would think that they would practice these things ahead of time. True,
and you'd also think that Fluttershy could turn down the showboating a a little bit, especially after, maybe they see that Big Mac is struggling to keep up, because it's not just Rarity, Big Mac, and Fluttershy in on this. The whole group is in on this. The rest of the other two nameless Ponytones are in on this as well. So the only people not clever to the ruse is everybody but the Ponytones.
Right.
So they are queuing up for another big show. What seems to be at Sugar Cube Corner, I think, if I remember correctly. I didn't note it here, but but it turns out that Big Mac's voice is all better. Fluttershy is slightly upset because she was, having a good time doing something that she enjoyed to do.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't quite ready for it to end. Rarity then convinces Big Mac to allow her to sing one last time, just to, so she knows it's the last time and, all that good stuff. So they start the show, and she unfortunately goes way off script and reveals herself to be the true singer. To which the crowd responds not with initially with disbelief and then thunderous applause. The spotlight causes her to get so flustered that she runs off crying. Applejack then confronts Big Mac to find out the whole story, without even him having to give anything more than a yep and a nope. They then all go to comfort Fluttershy. Pinky goes a little overboard again, but all of her friends are trying to be and all of Fluttershy's friends are trying to be supported, but she refuses to sing in front of anyone ever again.
Yep.
Rarity points out that it was truly Fluttershy that wanted to perform, and also that in Pinky's overboard speech, she was right about something. It was the worst thing that could have possibly happened, and that she's already faced her fear, and that maybe it wasn't as bad as she thought. Like the rest of her friends point out what was so bad: the thunderous applause, the fun time that you were having, the lack of a mob wanting to murder you for deceiving them. Fluttershy then joins the Ponytones for real for the third song in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And joins them for real, but turns out the crowd is just her friends and her animals. Rarity says, "Hey, we got a gig coming up, and you should definitely sing with us." And she says, no, she's not ready. And she's not ready to do a real show in front of a bunch of people, and would like to take it with baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the moral at the very end of the episode that it's better to face your fears, especially when it comes to something that you enjoy doing, so they don't end up holding you back.
Right. And
that was the episode. Now, on to the subject of the fact that there was 3 songs. 3 separate songs.
2.
There's 3. So there's the first one, the Music in the Treetops one.
Yep.
And then there's the Find the Music in Yourself song.
Yep.
And then there's a combination of the 2, Find the Music in the Treetops. 3 different songs.
Mm-hmm.
3 different songs.
3 of them.
3.
3.
Now, the Find the Music in Your Soul one is played multiple times throughout the episode. Especially, there's the warm-up one, the full performance with Flutter Guy, and then the montage performance. Music in the Treetops is only sung once at the very beginning, and then the Find the Music in the Treetops is played at the very end for the show with just her friends. So
that's a combination of the last 2.
I understand, but a combination of 2 songs makes a new
Doesn't
song.
count.
Yes, it does.
Doesn't count?
Yep, sorry, it does.
Doesn't count.
It does. Sorry, man. Every single one of the Slam Jam songs that you've heard on YouTube is a real...
Basically, the combination of 2 songs.
It's a mashup. It's
not
songs.
Original.
It is original.
No.
Yep, it's original.
No.
Sorry to say it, but it's original. There was new lyrics and everything. Lyrics used from both, but new lyrics nonetheless. Hell, it's more original than some of the mashups I've heard in my lifetime that have been considered real music.
Mm-hmm.
So, 3 songs, and I hold that there's 3 songs. The other controversy, of course, not that that was a controversy in the fandom, that was a controversy between me and Darkle here in the last 10 minutes of the episode.
Controversy.
Yeah, not even a controversy, just a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But the controversy that has been raised against Amy Keating Rogers is that she is consistently writing Pinkie Pie wrong, when I in fact think that she has consistently been the only one to write Pinkie Pie correctly. So, but yeah, everybody thinks that, Pinkie was too over the top. You have to remember that this is a pony that stood in the middle of Ponyville Square and said, "This donkey is really bald," to everyone. She goes overboard. She always has. She always will. This is her character. And it annoys me when other people do not remember this or...
All characters have to be perfect, like that asshole Rarity.
Yep.
And racist Rarity. Asshole racist Rarity.
Asshole racist Rarity.
Stupid asshole racist Rarity.
So, that's the 2 episodes. Of the 2, which one did you like better?
I'd have to go with stupid asshole racist Rarity, because then I can say stupid asshole racist Rarity.
Okay. I would actually have to go with the 2nd episode. I'd have to go with the Fluttershy episode.
Oh, okay.
Because I liked the music.
And the title.
It was a clever title. Not gonna lie. So, that being said, we'll do a couple pieces of news here. Since this show's been really long, and we have some combined news from the past 2 weeks. I've pared it down a little bit just for expediency's sake. And yeah. So we have some stuff here for one of the episodes, episode 16. It Ain't Easy Being Breezies. There's some synopsises that have been posted that's coming up on March 1st. Fluttershy tries to help magical creatures, but soon finds herself tending to their every need. The magical creatures being breezies. There's a new another synopsis that expands on it and says, Fluttershy takes action to rescue a group of magical breezies who are in need of some assistance while migrating home. But she begins to wonder how long she can help them when she finds herself answering to the tiny creatures' every whim. So,
they're magical. They should be able to save themselves.
True, but it's going to be, I'm going to call it now, the lesson is it's fine to be helpful, but people need to be able to do things on their own.
Yep, that's pretty much what it's going to be. You know it. It's Fluttershy.
That's right. And then we have another new episode announced with a short synopsis. It's called Some Pony to Watch Over Me. It's episode 17, March 8th. Apple Bloom has to prove to Applejack that she doesn't need to consistently watch over her. So, that's a sibling, younger, older sibling thing.
Right. Common trope there.
Yep. And the last one that I have here is that there was another synopsis for episode 18 revealed that it's called Mod Pie. And when Pinkie Pie's sister comes to town, the girls find her much different than Pinkie's described. So maybe we'll find out a little bit about the magical appearing third sister.
Or maybe we'll find out about the magical wonder of a rock farm.
This is true.
Yes. Like maybe rocks didn't mean literal rocks, but the music.
Maybe. Rock and Roll Farm.
Bam.
Bam.
Like from, what was that game? Alan Wake?
Yeah. Rock and Roll Farm. So there's another piece of news here, and unfortunately the thing that I linked in our show notes here is a little bit lacking. It's about a Terra Strong AMA. I didn't go through much of it. A lot of it is not pony related. A lot of it is just generic stuff. But there was one specific thing in there, and when I put this in there, this was a pretty good mention of it, but it has been since confirmed fully by Hasbro and other people, and especially through Entertainment Weekly. Equestria Girls 2 is happening.
No!
Equestria Girls 2 Rainbow Rocks is happening.
No!
And in the little trailer that I did see for it, the Twilight is somehow Twilight with wings,
is somehow back in the world of Equestria Girls, Equestria High School, as it were, and they've started a rock band. And I think I blame Rainbow Dash for this. It's probably her fault.
It always is.
Another thing is you know what? I'm gonna skip that. We don't need to. The hub might be teasing another Discord song. Oh boy, whoop-de-doo.
Oh no, not another Discord song.
Oh no. And to round it out for today, we have another piece of news for BabsCon.
BabsCon!
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 BabsCon makes you so excited, you clip your mic. BabsCon.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Oh, BabsCon!
Yes.
Before it's a bad mic, but
So, yeah, the person that they've announced is Josh Haber. He's a newer writer for Haber. He's a newer writer for Ponies on season 4, and he's credited with writing Castlemania and Simple Ways so far. And so, if you want to see him, you can head to BabsCon. In April. BabsCon. The best con that I won't be going to.
Yeah, we should talk about it a lot.
We sure do talk about it a lot. It's consistently the only con that always has news. So
pretty much BabsCon.
BabsCon. So that
BabsCon.
So that brings us to the end of the episode. Super mega episode.
Yep.
A whole hour worth of jam-packed stuff. Crazy, I know. Well, I think that's about it. Do you have anything to add?
Nope.
All right, then. Well, we'll see you guys next week, maybe, unless, things happen. But Tuesdays, it's a new day. And that's it for us. We'll see everyone later.
All right. Yeah, BabsCon later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.